Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Lifetalkpodwith Bami, where we talk about the mindsets and habits that help us not just survive, but truly live life's most challenging seasons. I'm your host, Bami, and today we want to talk about something we all need, but don't always know how to hold on to: hope. Hope is often mistaken for naive positivity, but true hope is much more than wishful thinking. It's a discipline, it's a choice we make, especially when the outcome is uncertain and the road ahead isn't clear. It's that quiet voice that says, keep going, even when everything else is stop. In this episode, we are going to explore what it means to practice hope intentionally, how to stay optimistic without losing touch with reality, and how to share hope with others who might be struggling to find it, because sometimes hope isn't just looking for the light, it's learning how to be the light. The topic today is staying optimistic in uncertain seasons. I have with me two great guests, Mr. Sheye and Michael. If you don't mind introducing yourself to audience, from Michael, then Mr. Sheye, you can go.
Yeah, hi everyone. So good to be here again. So I'm Michael Olonode. I'm an actuary and currently I live and work in the United States. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me. And yeah, my hobbies, I like traveling, I like hanging out, and yeah, I love good food.
Thank you, Mr. Sheye.
Hi everyone. Just like Remedy said, I'm sharing from him, and I'm so happy to be here. Let's dive into the discussion.
I like it. Straight to the point. Thank you. So we have three segments we want to look at today. I like the way we do it here. So we title the segments, then we have some discussion around it. So this first segment is, I titled it "Understanding Hope as a Discipline." Um, you know, what does practicing hope look like in our daily lives? Michael, if you don't mind, talking about like what hope looks like, in our daily lives as people, ordinary people trying to survive in this world.
Yeah, I think I'll start by, yeah, looking at what hope means. So hope is more like a feeling or like an expectation of what you think you want to happen. So in our daily lives, I think yeah, every day, one way or the other, we practice hope, by probably, yeah, the moment we wake up, and up until we sleep, one way or the other, we practice hope that, oh, the day is gonna be a good day, we are going to achieve our goals. So I think that's one of the ways that we practice hope in our daily lives. And yeah, generally, I think it's something that is unconsciously present every day of our lives. So yeah, everything you do, one way or the other, you practice hope that, oh, it's going to be a better day. You're going to achieve your goals. So in some way, I think that's one of the ways we practice hope in our daily lives.
Yeah, I think in my own perspective, I think it's a daily choice, not just a spontaneous feeling. The difference between blind optimism, that is in reality, and disciplined hope is like, there's a possibility that you're choosing that, okay, yes, I want to hold on to this belief that this thing is possible, even when other things might feel like, okay, maybe other factors around you feel that, yes, everything might be going down, but that urge to acknowledge reality that, yes, so this possibility can be attained, rather than losing all sense of worth and not getting anything. Thank you so much. Hope matters actually. Certain seasons, it's your physical. It has some psychological benefits. It helps in resilience, being resilient. If we all understand that as Nigerians, hope has been lost. Yes, Nigerians are very resilient of people. It helps to reduce stress. It increases problem-solving abilities. Hope as a stabilizer during crisis. Like when there was pandemic, a lot of people were hoping that, okay, yes, this COVID vaccine will be like a cure for a lot of things. And I think we all found out that, yes, having your family around also helps in reducing that kind of stress. Thank you so much, Michael. Mr. Sheye, so do you not think hope is something that people are born with, or something we build through experience?
Sorry, can you say that again, please?
I said, do you think hope is something people are born with or something we build through experience?
Okay. Hope is what everybody's born with, obviously. And one thing I've noticed over time is when hope is lost, when all hope is lost, that's when suicide sets in. When you
Mm.
don't believe there's anything for you, then you start thinking about ending the life. So hope is everybody's born with hope, but the hope gets to I'll call it he gets to be exhausting, or it gets to finish at every stage in life, because at some point when we were giving birth to, you don't think about anything. You believe, you hope that your daddy will provide you everything, but
Yeah,
your hope starts getting exhausted when they tell you, no, you're not going to have this. I'm not going to buy this for you till this time. Or your dad tells you you're not going to have this, and that's the final. So you already
yeah,
hope that is everything. That is going to provide everything. So it is stages. It's in stages. So it gets to sometimes you don't look up to your dad anymore. You
mm,
believe in your dreams. You hope in the results. You hope in different. So it's, yes, we are born with hope, but it gets exhausting at some point, whereby the hope in where you are probably you trusted, or where you are hoping, the person tells you
yeah.
no, then you have to start another phase. So we are born with it, but at some point we have to build our hope over time. So
So
I think yeah,
you
you
say you
want
have
to
to
say
build.
something?
You say
Yes,
you
you
have to
have
build.
to. Yes, you
So
have to build
and
it.
you said it's something we are born with, but as time goes on, we have to build. So how do you now build um being optimistic through experience? Because being hopeful also means being optimistic. That's why I said that. So how do you now build that optimism through experience? Is
Oh,
it going through or suffering?
all right. Thank you so much for that. I actually love that question. Once I said something earlier. I said once you don't, once the hope is exhausted, the suicide sets in. So
Yeah,
each time there's a hope in something, there's a plan towards it. There's a walk towards it.
yeah,
So when you are open towards having straight A's in exam, in an exam, then you start reading so
yeah,
that your hope will not be cut short. The Bible
yeah,
talks about hope being cut short. So we all have hope, but there are some time that your hope is being cut short. So we build hope with plans, strategies, structures. So you don't just, oh, I'm hoping that this will come out. Okay, let's a particular example, or a typical example, is when all of us is probably, I believe we the three of us, we are all in the UK while we were hoping for our visa to come out. Just now imagine you're just sitting down and say UK is going to give me visa without applying. There is no work, there is no structure, there's no effort. So we put in the work. Oh, we prepare for the visa interview. You went there, you did whatever. Even some of us, they don't even ask us any question, and they granted us the visa. But you still expected, like, oh, it's still gonna come out. Oh, maybe they might. So it's being built. Hope is being built with work. Hope is being built with plans. Hope is being built with structure, putting things in place. I don't know if I've answered the question. I can um, break it down the more, but I know
so
we
you
are
can be.
time bound. We are
I'm really
time.
enjoying this. You can.
We have time bound. So, but
Okay.
when you are building hope, it has to come with a plan. You have to have a plan. You
Yeah,
have to have a strategy. You have to have a walk towards the hope. You don't just sit down and say, "Oh." this. I'm hoping Iremide is going to give me 100,000 without working, without adding value to Irebami's life and doing anything. So hope comes with work. Hope comes with structure. Hope comes with strategy. So when we are building, that's when you are putting the work in. So I don't know if I've done justice.
No, you've done a lot of job. Thank you. Michael, because you can also ask me some questions if you guys so that you don't be assuming just two people talking. Let me also chip in if I can. So, Michael, can you recall a time where you faked optimism until it became genuine? Did it work?
Where I did what?
Where you faked, let me say faked optimism until it became genuine. And did it work for that situation?
I think yeah, I mean, thinking about it now, yeah, I think a good time would be when I wanted to make the move from, okay, because my background is in accounting, as you know, we went to school together. So when I wanted to make the switch from accounting to actuarial science, so I was hoping that, I mean, my switch would produce fruits, quickly. So I had to be optimistic that, okay, yeah, this was the right path. Moving to the actuarial field was the right path for me, even as yeah, because the actuarial field, you need to take exams. So I was taking exams. I didn't have the money, but I found a way, to get the money to take the exams. The exams are very expensive, so there was no, you didn't go to school for this thing. You don't have any background in it. You just decide that, oh, this is what I want to do,
Yeah.
and you're taking an exam. So the odds are kind of stacked against you, because why should probably, a company that hires actuaries, why should they take you, as opposed to somebody that went to school for this, that studied this thing, So at that point in my life, yeah, I had to fake the optimism, so to speak. Like, I had to just be optimistic that, oh, this thing was going to work out, And yeah, in spite of, like, I had like friends who would tell me, like, we're not seeing the results, like, we are doing well with our accounting fields, like, oh, we're already, making money off this, but you decide to abandon what you will make money off and go into a relatively, unknown territory. So yeah, at that point in my life, I think, yeah, looking back now, I think that's one of the times that I kind of faked optimism. And the optimism was a form of hope, that I was hoping that everything was going to get better.
Yeah.
And I think, it worked for me because, yeah, during interviews, that's one of the things that I tell people. Like, yeah, when I go into interviews, I tell them that, oh, this is my background, but that level of, determination that you have, to switch, when you're uncertain as to what is going to happen, when I tell them that story, it kind of blows their mind. And
Yeah.
eventually I was able to, get started off. Yeah, I was lucky to get started off on that part. So I would say it worked for me, because I was putting in the work, like Mr. Shea mentioned. Like, you can't just fake optimism or fake hope and without putting in a plan or a strategy. I was taking the exams. I wasn't just hoping that, oh, I'll become an actuary someday,
Yeah.
and just sit down and be like, oh, okay, because I like the field, so you have to have a plan, a strategy, like, yeah, just to go back to what Mr. Shea said. So I would say having a plan and a strategy and working towards it helped me, to scale through that process. So that's an example of when faking optimism kind of, yeah, saw me through a particular time.
Yeah. So how do you now personally balance being realistic with being hopeful?
Being realistic with being hopeful. I think, yeah, if you want to be, first things first, you shouldn't ignore reality. You
Yeah.
should, yeah, you shouldn't ignore the fact that, like, oh, how will you take care of your family? How will you survive? While still, trying to be hopeful that, oh, this thing is going to work out. And I mean, you shouldn't just, wishful thinking, just thinking that, oh, things would happen. I think that's one of the ways. I think those are the two ways that I can think of. Oh, you shouldn't ignore reality, and you shouldn't just, have wishful thinking. So that's. I don't know if that makes sense. That's one of the ways that I think, you can balance, being hopeful, with facing reality. So you shouldn't ignore reality. First of all, I know it's it's backwards, but I think that's one of the ways that you can balance those two.
Yeah. When you say how do you personally balance being realistic and being hopeful, I remember when I was when I wanted to make that switch from JSS3 to.
I'd like to chip something
I'm still looking. I'm not trying to I was trying to make that switch from JSS3 to SS1. I can never forget. I know there's this time now you have to go back to school for what they call extension, so you need to know what class you fit in, whether you'll be in the sciences, the commercials, or the arts, and I just to make my dad proud. I had to go to the science. I was being after I carried the Babio, the chemistry textbook, and I saw that yes, this is my life for the next 3 years. I said, that is not. So I said, no, you cannot be like this. So I didn't tell him anything. I was realistic. I faced reality myself there. So when I went back home and I saw my first time results, SS1 first time result, I didn't tell my students I just switched to the arts, but the subject combination was it was crazy. Finding food and nutrition with some other things. I was like, when I go back home and I see my results, it was good. I thought you went to science. I said no. I just found out that I could not cope. If I stayed there, I'm going to just be feeling, and it's not be fair. But when I saw that, it's okay. I said, well, so when Mr. Shea was saying, create a plan and a strategy to show us down to say, okay, you cannot be food and nutrition, except you want to be a chef, and you don't want to be a chef. So what are the subject combinations that you can do together that can make it pan out to a profession that you can either do in the arts or in the commercial? And it's okay. You can take the accounting, the medical account. You are taking commerce. You can add government with it. You are good at literature. So why can't you do all those things together? And so when I finished my work and I passed everything, so I had the opportunity of either doing accounting, law, anything in the arts or commercial I wanted to do. And it was actually, a testament to being realistic and having a plan and strategy. Mr. Shea, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, about you said faking hope and it become real, right? If I get
balance being realistic and being hopeful.
Yeah, the first question you were asking Mr. Michael was
can you recall the time when you faked optimism until it became genuine?
It became reality. I think I have issue with the word fake there, because all my life I've always become something before I become it in the real sense. Let me cite you an example. Maybe I wanted to become a doctor.
Oh.
I had become the doctor inside of me before manifesting it or holding the certificate. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll cite you a real example. Back in Nigeria, I owned a school. Before I owned the school, before the school became physical, I had become a school proprietor without having a physical school, because the good book talks about calling those things that be not as though they were.
Well, the good book is the Bible.
Yes. It might look a bit twisted, but it's just calling what you want to see. What you want to become is not yet a reality, but calling it as if it is. So I've learned that principle over time, and it works. It's
Oh,
not once, it's not twice, it has been all my life.
yeah. That's why
Just,
I asked the question. It work.
yes, it
For
does work.
Michael, yeah. So
It
it
does
works for you.
work. And it
Yeah.
Yeah.
is in levels. It's, uh, how will I want to try to bring it down to the smallest level that anybody can understand it. The
No
good book
problem.
also call it from faith to faith. I know we're talking about hope, but there's a thin line between faith and hope. I'm not talking FATE. I'm talking of FAITH. So there's a
Yeah.
thin line between hope and faith. So if there's a level of faith, that means there's a level of hope. So you don't just start from becoming something else or like doing something big with your hope. You have to start very small, like, okay, as small as hoping to have a biro, then you start acting like you have that biro. Then the
Yeah.
moment you have that biro, you can start hoping like, okay, I'm going to get a car. Then you start dressing like someone who owns a car. Like, oh, where's my car? Calling those things that be not as though they were. So hoping for good things or what you want to become is is it works and is very realistic. It might look as if when you start acting it, it might look like you're crazy, like everybody around you will not believe you, will not believe in you, and they're gonna mock you. But it
Yeah.
starts from being determined. Just like you said, you carry a Barbie eye, it looks like something else to you. I believe the determination is not there. Once the determination is there, you start
It's not
seeing
there.
yourself.
But I think I was just being true to myself. Like
Yes,
I can
you were not determined enough.
chemical elements, and now I was struggling to understand the difference between two of them. And I said, no, 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 no. This
Yeah,
is not my
I was
game.
telling the story about how I started the school. Okay, so when I wanted to start, I think the money in my account was maybe 10,000 naira thereabouts. But I
Yeah,
started looking for an apartment for a school. I I had no money. I had no place I'll get money. But I started making steps. So the very first house I saw, I walked in. I saw the number, I called. They said the house is 500K per annum. And I don't have the money. But I know what I want. I'm determined. And I started working towards it. So I already know that if I need an apartment for a school, it starts from 500.
yeah,
So if anybody asks me, what's your dream? What do you want? I'll be able to say, oh, I want to start the school. The least apartment I got was 500. It's just like giving you 1 billion now. If you don't have plans for it, you're not prepared for it, you're going to mismanage the
Panda.
money.
Yeah,
You're going to squander it. That's the word. But if you had the plan,
yeah,
open, believing, started acting like a billionaire already, that, oh, I'm going to have a farm, and you start telling your friends, oh, I'm going to be a billionaire in 6 months or in 1 year, and started acting like it, making researches of how billionaires, how they started, what they do. Over time, the day the 1 billion show, you already have plans for it. So you are not just faking it, you are calling it forth, and you are
yeah,
becoming what you're supposed to be in the future. I don't know if I
Yeah.
don't want to take I don't want to take much of my time.
Yeah. I just want to add something. Like, I mean, regardless of the fact that you're hoping that this thing is going to happen, you think you will become a billionaire. You're telling people you will become a billionaire. The reality is that it is like how will I say? I don't want to use probability. Okay, yeah, let me use probability. Let me say there's a chance that that is not going to happen. So
Yes.
one way you can deal with that is probably knowing that that thing is not going to happen. So, like being conscious of the fact that I want to become a
Okay.
billionaire, but eventually I might not become a billionaire. So you should have like
Once
a backup
once
plan. So
you
this,
no, the thing is,
Okay.
once you say you want to become a billionaire and you don't have
yeah,
strategies, you don't have plans for it, it
Sorry,
shows
I'm
that
sorry.
you are not ready
Not,
to be a billionaire.
but
So
not
because not
sorry, sorry.
planning is planning to fail. So
Mr.
once
Kenny,
you say, okay, this is what I want, and you start taking steps towards it, you might not have a particular time that is going to happen, but you start taking steps. Okay, you say you want to become a doctor and start writing certifications. You start taking courses. You are not yet a doctor, but you're already telling your friends, I'm going to become a doctor. Don't even address me without putting a doctor because I'm going to. But you are taking plans towards it. The day the opportunity shows, it's just like I watch a particular video. I think maybe it's Bado or maybe Olamide thereabout. He was rapping and he actually grabbed a guy and
that's
brought him on
another
the
thing.
stage. And whoa, the guy was rapping back to back. I believe the guy had already told all his friends, like, someday I'm going to be the musician you watch that you're going to pay money for. But they all laughed at him. But he was planning towards it, writing lyrics, composing songs. So the day the opportunity came, he was rapping, I think maybe 30 minutes non-stop. But just imagine he said, I'm going to become a rapper. And no lyrics, no nothing. Yeah, I'll just stop there. I know. Okay. Okay.
Just a caveat
Thank
to
you.
what Mr. Jeff. Just a caveat. For those that want to become billionaires, to reach there, betting is not the answer.
No, nobody gets rich betting. No, that's not. Nobody gets rich
I
betting.
I've never seen someone that becomes a
I don't
betting.
think that's I mean there's a slight chance that you can get rich through betting.
No.
So the
Yes,
chance
you
is
get
there.
rich, but I give you 12 months. You'll be back at zero because you still take the same money to go and bet.
I'm sorry to say.
Right.
And you'll be back in
You can't get it from
zero
betting.
level.
I'm not going to encourage that. You can't get it from betting. Don't try it. Thank you
Okay.
so much. What?
Yeah.
Nobody gets rich betting.
No. We already,
You can only hear stories of people who are once rich through
yeah.
betting.
That first segment now is supposed to take us 25 minutes. You guys have already 28 minutes. Please. Let's move to the second segment. That was just understanding hope as a discipline. And thank you so much. The second segment is what I titled Challenges to Stay Hopeful. So, I want to know because, sometimes people mistake hope for, denial. Do you think people sometimes mistake hope for denial? That's my first question. And how do you now keep hope alive when mental health struggles or fear of failure not creep in? So, Michael, we want to go first, or when Mr. Shea wants to go first? Who wants to go first? Any, mini, money, more.
Can you repeat the question?
I said,
yeah.
sometimes people mistake hope for denial.
Yeah.
Now, so how do you not keep hope alive when mental health struggles or fear of failure not creeping? So instead of now, like, okay, that is, like I said, I could not cope with studying the sciences. There's no way I could, except I wanted to just deceive myself. Now, the fear of failing was what made me not to be in denial that yes, I can do it. Once I set my mind to it, there's nothing I cannot do. I, I know that
You,
yes,
okay.
this attitude is not for me.
Yeah,
What my strongest suit were in the martials and the arts. So instead of just staying in denial there and failing, why
yeah,
not just and for the sake of your mental health, so that people don't think you're a dollar or anything.
right.
Just
But by doing that, you actually faced reality. If you want to
yeah,
think about it, you
I,
faced
I,
reality. Yeah,
I didn't mistake denial for hope. No,
yeah,
I, I won't be that. I'll be doing myself a disservice if I do that. That's what I'm just gonna say. So, like sometimes people actually, especially in Africa, where people are actually looking for a greater thing because of the suffering that's going on, or many people look, yeah. So, but there's something someone said one day. He said, like, okay, if that God is looking at the prayers of people to like make sure their country is good, Nigeria will be number one because we have a lot of pastors and they have been praying for the country and
yeah,
the country is better. But it takes people to actually do the work. You understand? It takes good people to actually do the work and make the country better, which is why facilities they are working, things they are working. So how do you now like that one now? We are not in denial. We are not in denial here. You know that yes, for this thing to work, people have to be responsible enough to do this job to make it work.
yeah,
Back in Africa, a lot of people are in denial, thinking maybe God will come down from heaven and come and fix the country for us. No.
yeah. I think I like the level of clarity you provided or the additional background you have provided to the question. And as you
Yeah.
were talking, I was just thinking of multiple scenarios, that fit into that stuff. So yeah, people, generally would mistake, hope for denial of reality,
Yeah.
especially when, okay, an example would be probably the current government in Nigeria. They came up with a renewed hope agenda, to renew the hope of Nigerians. But in reality, like the policies you are making, they are not actually,
Not
affecting the lives. Exactly.
yes.
They are not trickling down. So in that instance, the government has refused to face the reality of their decisions, so to speak. They are thinking, okay, we're in a surgical process, but during that surgery, you are killing people, and yet you are still saying that you are doing surgery. Do you
Yeah.
understand? So ignoring reality or the inability to face reality is one way that people would confuse, hope with denial of reality, so to speak. So in order for you not to make that mismatch, like try to face reality, try to see that, okay, this is how my actions is impacting, or this is how my current trajectory of life is going to impact this ambition or this hope that I'm going to have. So
Yeah.
try to weigh the pros and cons, like this your strengths and weaknesses, like you in your example, you
Yeah.
weighed your strengths. You are like, oh, I'm not good in this area, I'll be good in this area. So by
Mm.
doing that, you are facing reality, and that line between hope and denial of reality gets less blood.
Yeah. It's just like the world of politics. I think one of the presidents I respect in the United States is Bill Clinton. When you read his life, you see that yes, and Obama, you see that yes, except for Bill Clinton that had the aspiration of becoming president, you see that yes, he was not living la la land. Yes, you can become a president, but the trajectory to do that shows the kind of decisions you take, the kind of things you set out to do that can lead to that point where you have the opportunity now for people to now, okay, look at, okay, yes, this is your track record. This is what you have done so far. Okay, we can trust this position to him and can trust that, yes, he can lead us to this path. When he went to school, he said, okay, yeah, okay, I think most presidents, I think the law is applicable. So my character doesn't be a lawyer. Instead of doing another course, intentionally he did that. He went to public service. Even the wife he married shows that there is this intentionality of pursuing that goal. And you know, he didn't. Indeed, he was not in denial that yes, okay, no matter what you do, if you kill somebody, if you rob somebody, no matter what happens, I'll still be confident of my destiny. That's a lie.
Yeah.
So you don't mistake hope for denial and think that yes, things will just go the way they want it to go. No. For you to keep hope alive, you must consciously make certain decisions that perpetuate you to that place where you have opportunities that actually set you up for what you want to, do. Like Mr. Sheye said, strategies, planning, believing in your abilities, believing in God's favor over your life are things that, are the ingredients that you need to move forward and need to get a better deal of what life will deal you. Because this, if you don't demand what you want out of this world, the world will give you whatever it has left. It's your
Right.
choice to, demand of life what you want out of life, rather than having life, does deal you whatever it has. It can be dealt a bad hand. Not everybody is born. It's not Elon Musk that will father everybody. Even if he tries, he cannot father the whole world. So what? So you cannot say okay, I've been dealt a bad hand. Elon Musk's son, he can be lucky enough. He doesn't need to work for the rest of his life. Yes, he was dealt a good hand by life. What's your own story? You are living at Gunle at home.
Yeah.
Oh, let's be guided. Mr. Shay, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah. Can you repeat the question, please?
I said, people sometimes mistake hope for denial. So, how do you not keep hope alive when mental health struggles creep in or fear of failure creep in or set in? How do you keep hope alive?
Okay. I'm gonna flip the coin, and I'll let you see it from another perspective, because life is all about perspective. Depending
Yeah.
on where you are standing, it can be 6, it can be 9.
Yeah.
One thing I think Africans, or I don't want to address a particular demographic class.
Yeah.
One thing I believe people don't understand over time is failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success in the school of life. If you're going to be successful, regardless of whatever you're doing, failure must come. So
Yeah.
while open, receiving failures at some particular time should not affect you. After all aspect has been checked. Yes, you don't just dive into river and say I'm going to learn how to swim in the water. No, we are meant to take calculated risk. After
Yeah.
all those ponds has been checked, you don't just go and feel, oh, I'm not going to encounter failure, or because you see failure, you now run away. No.
Yeah.
You need to make all your check and balances. You need to put strategies in place. But even at that, you're still going to encounter failure. So failure is part of the journey. There's no how you won't experience it. Okay, I'll give an example of when I first got into the UK. Like, I'm a business person. I run almost 4 or 5 different businesses in Nigeria. So getting here is different. So I started applying, and I think it got to a point I started checking my applications every day. I sent 20 applications every day, and I will get, unfortunately, reply almost every day, but I never gave up.
And they always prompt and replying you.
Yes, they took their time. So I did it to a point that I cracked the code of interview. So after I cracked the code of the interviews, I wasn't looking for job because, okay, I've studied the step. I've been like, okay, I'm hopeful, like, no, I'm going to get head out of this. So I crack the code. I intentionally go for interviews and I get the job. And me too, I'll now type unfortunately for them that, okay, these things changed. I got a better offer. But I could have give up. My mental health was at stake at that time because I thought about everything. But later I realized I did some courses. I was taking steps towards it. So while I was getting denials, while I was failing forward.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. I was failing, but I was failing forward.
Yeah, it does make sense. So
the thing is, while we fail, we should ask questions. Okay, why is this happening? What did I do wrong? I'm not trying to, I don't want to go away from the topic, but while we are open, regardless of how sweet the hope has been, or how sweet, or how valid the hope is. You know, there are some valid hope when probably Dangote show forth now and say, I'm going to give you £1 million. So you think, how much is £1 million to Dangote? So it looks so valid. You still need to take your steps. You still need to make your checks. So regardless, hope is failure is part of success. If you're going to achieve your hope, or if your hope is going to become something visible, you're still going to experience failure. Yeah. So I just need to emphasize on that so that we all know that when you are failing, don't think, oh, probably something is wrong. Yes, something is wrong, but ask questions. Why is this happening? What am I doing wrong? So that you can fail forward. So, and because of our time, I'll just stop.
Let me just chip this in, like as an example. Another example that I thought of was, the people want to go pro with football. People want to be successful musicians. They hope that, oh, I'm so good. I'm the most talented. I'm the best footballer. They are hoping that, oh, one day I'm going to get that big break. I'll go to Galatasaray or become Wizkid, But if you look at the success rate, if you face the reality of, how many footballers do you see, that go pro relative to the volume of people that want to, go into that field. Same thing applies also to music too. So while you are hoping that, oh, things will be good for me, face the reality of like having a backup plan, that, oh, things might not go your way. So that's just the example that I want to give, footballers and musicians.
I think those are the two major careers that is a career of luck. It's not. It has nothing to do with if you're good. Sorry.
Oh, really? It doesn't have anything to do with whether or not you are good. So they are bad footballers.
It has nothing to do with your skillfulness. They are the best of Maradonas are still playing in Inofa. Sometimes you go to a bar and you see someone singing and you will be marveled at like, how good is this person? And he has never stepped or she has never stepped on that step out of the conference of that bar or that beer parlor. So music, football, it's a career of luck. It's not how skillful you are. When you get to the top, you still need to be skillful, but when you are still at the bottom line, grassroots, regardless of how skillful you are, nobody might know you. So I think we should tell people more about that. You don't say, oh, because I know how to sing, then you be the next whiskey. It's a career of luck.
So,
You don't just.
so I think I'm just thinking now. So, what do you tell people like that, to keep their hope alive? At the end of the
The
day,
thing is,
stuff like this,
the,
like,
the,
no.
no, the thing,
Have
what
believe.
so you said, you remember me, you said what?
Have faith, believe, you can do it.
No,
If
I, no, I had the privilege. I had
I
the
don't say one
privilege
day,
to
bro,
cancel.
No, you have to be realistic.
Yeah, I had the privilege to cancel a footballer. But what I told him is, your career is valid, or your talent, as it were, is valid. But while you pursue your talent, have a work.
Abi now.
Yeah,
Have
And that's
something you are doing.
what I agree with you about. They
yeah,
don't want to
Sorry?
have. That's where many of them will disagree with you because they don't want to have
yeah,
an option B. They
yeah.
believe that
They,
yes,
they should be
they
ready for
and
a kind
like
of life that they don't want to live. I'm
yeah,
not saying don't pursue your career. Pursue your career is it's amazing, it's sweet, it's lovely. But while you pursue the career, while you pursue your talent, have something you are doing. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm skillful, I know how to sing," and you're not bringing food on the table. Once you
mm,
reach that level, you need to bring food on the table, regardless of what you are, how good your talent is. So find
yeah.
something that will put food on your table. Once you have something you put food that will put food on your table, you can pursue your talent, and nobody will ask you like this or that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Just final question because time is going. I wanted to know if you can if you don't want to answer this question, we'll just move to the next segment. What's one of the darkest moments you have faced where hope made a difference?
I think it'll probably be the same example like that
Yeah,
I give initially. Yeah, I think that's one of the darkest moments in my life because I mean at that point, there was no income coming in. I was depending on my parents. And everything, all hope was lost. Like, oh, we were relatively struggling. So I think that's one of the darkest moments in my life. Yeah, the example as to when I decided to abandon what I was doing.
not wanting. Yeah,
But yeah, but I mean, during that point, I was still doing like internships in accounting fields, still trying to. So it was not like, oh, I just focused on writing the actual exams without having. Okay, I was still doing what I know. Like, okay, I had
yeah,
in accounting, so still doing internships
yeah.
and stuff like that. So that was keeping me. I mean, yeah, helping me to survive along with depending on my parents. So my mom especially. So yeah, that's one of the ways that's
No,
the example that I
no,
can think of.
that's fine. It's fine because
Yeah.
we want to move to the last segment now because the first when we started this for this session today, you know, we had 3 segments and they are all interwoven. So we wanted to understand hope as a discipline. We talked about that. They wanted to make like look at the challenges of staying hope, which we've done. And I want to now know about the next segment as like turning hope into action. How can you turn your hope, into action that can like yes, so how has hope served as a motivator for change life? Um I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
going first.
Can you repeat the question again, please?
Please, so I want to read my I said how has hope served as a motivator for change in your life?
Just like I said earlier, once there's no hope, suicide sets in. I
Mm.
think you buttressed the point by saying some people they got carryovers,
Yeah,
or
the
they
same
got
moment I
extra
had.
year.
Yeah. The same
And time we have hope, it's always a motivator. It's always like something better is going to happen. something, regardless of the particular situation we find ourselves, you just believe, oh, there's still hope. And in my life, I think darkest moment or times that hope has always been the game changer, because even when I'm pushed to the wall, I'll try and see another perspective. Just like, okay, just like I will cite an example. Let's say I have an extra year. Instead of killing myself, I will see it from another perspective of having another extra, like having a 1 year to develop something, having another year to build something. So it might not be school, it might be in another phase. And hope is always a game changer for me. I don't want to go into long story. Just like I said, it's my lifestyle. It's what I have lived over time. So I can give you several instances of how this, because it's my life. I have a particular same story of switching career that Mr. Michael was talking about, and it's this same hope. I become who I wanted to be at that particular point, and it came through for me. So I've learned it as I use it as a weapon. Yeah, that's the right word. I use it as a weapon. Anytime I probably want something, I use hope as a weapon. So it's always a game changer. And just like I said earlier, it works.
Yeah.
It works.
Michael, do you have anything to say?
No, I think on that note, I agree with both of you on that. So yeah. So hope is really a game changer.
Okay. So for the final question, which of you have 2 minutes to the so what's the
voice
best
is breaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I said, so the best way to inspire hope in someone who has completely lost it. So Michael will go first, then and that's it.
Hope in somebody who has completely lost it.
Yeah.
I think. What did you say?
So that feels hopeless.
Yeah, I mean, I think for somebody that feels hopeless totally, I would say don't discount the effect that therapy could have. Talking to someone. If you're feeling hopeless right now, like the best thing you can do for yourself is probably to talk to someone. Like probably talk to a therapist, or talk to your family members or your friends, people that can, help you to stay positive. Don't dwell on that, loss of hope. Don't feel like, oh, that is the end of the world. Like you gave the example, I mean, with the whole, school stuff, your dad was where you drew that inspiration from. Me too. I mean, as a person, yeah, my mom was, and she still is a big source of inspiration for me. So
no, both of them are actually. My mom was always praying for me. I've always been praying, but I think the boost I needed at that time was just
your dad.
That statement alone was the boost I needed to recharge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. So I think, don't discount the effect of talking to somebody. Yeah. All you just need might be just to talk to somebody. And I mean, I wouldn't come here and bamboozle you and say, oh, you have to stay positive. You have to still be hopeful. You've lost hope already. What did you say?
Believe in yourself.
Yeah, exactly. All those motivational BS, like, no, I wouldn't come here and tell you that. So I would just say, like, just reach out to somebody that you can confide in, and talk to the person. Yeah, if it's possible, reach out to a therapist, especially if you're in an advanced country. I mean, yeah, I know therapists are not really in Nigeria, or they might be very expensive, but in this climate, they are relatively cheaper. So yeah, and if you don't have therapists, yeah, talk to your family members, talk to your friends, let
Yeah.
them, talk to them about what you're going through and draw inspiration from them. I think that's just what I'm going to say about that.
Thank you so much, Michael. Really appreciate it. Mr. Sheye, you are closing up.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Immediately you asked the final question. I remember a particular post I wrote on Facebook, and I just quickly went to my laptop and checked it. He talks about when all hope is lost, you feel stuck, you don't believe in yourself anymore. The best uh, solution to that is cry out. But it's not just crying out, you need to cry out to the right person. So,
Yeah.
but you need to cry out. Don't, every time people commit suicide, one thing they do is they separate themselves. They are always alone. So one thing you need to do when you feel all hope is lost and you don't believe in yourself, cry out to the right person, just like Mr. Michael suggested. Get a therapist, get a friend, get a family member, but you need to cry out to the right person. But
Yeah.
always cry out. Don't just sit alone. The moment you are getting alone and you feel you are being secluded, you are being separated, and you feel you don't believe in yourself anymore, go cry out. I'll end on that note.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate both of you, taking our time out of your schedules to come here. I think one thing I can also um end the whole thing is with to turn hope into action. You have to set small, achievable, achievable goals to create momentum. Momentum is everything. Find purpose in serving others. At least inspire others by living out hopeful actions, not just hopeful words. Things that you do that is achievable at that particular time. Like I said, for me, once my once my folks told me that statement, I saw a future outside the four walls of where I thought I was confined to. You know, I stopped feeling sorry for myself at that point, and I started taking responsibility for my life, and that's what can help you know you to create that momentum for yourself and be able to move on to achieve much more than you already have right now. So the truth is, hope isn't a personality trait; it's a discipline. It's the practice of choosing light when the sky is still dark, practice of
Hmm.
showing up for your life even when the outcomes is uncertain, like I said. And yes, there will be moments where hope feels far away, but that's when it's more important to lean into it. Your current season does not define your future. Whatever you're going through now does not define where you'll be tomorrow. Like I said, at a particular point in my life, I felt I couldn't see the next day or the next big thing. But, you know, God has been so faithful. The challenges you face today are shaping the strength you will stand on tomorrow. And remember, hope is not just about looking for the light. It's about learning how to be the light for yourself and for others. Create strategies, plan, work towards it. I really want to thank Michael and Mr. Shaya for coming. If this conversation has spoken to you, I would like you to, click on the subscribe button, subscribe, turn on notifications to know when next we drop episodes. We normally release new episode every Monday for those that care to know. And want to keep you wanting to see who will bring it next week. But this has been so much more helpful. I hope it blesses somebody. I hope it's been help to another person outside the scope. Not just because we just feel like we want to speak to people. We want to speak to people. We want to touch, you know, lives of people. So until next time, keep choosing hope. Not because it's easy, but because it is worth it. Thank you so much. Do you see you again next week, guys? Bye.